Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 11th MWAG Awards. I am Brenda Batiste.
And I am Kenroy Batiste. So nice to have all of you here this evening. What an absolute delight.
Yes, it's really a delight to be in the presence of colleagues, of family, more or less media family. It's nice to be together again, so let's just give ourselves a round of applause. A very, very special good evening to our Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Ron Redhead. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir. And we would like to say a special welcome as well to the manager of the Grenada National Lotteries Authority, Ms. Cindy Henry. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. The U.S. Principal Officer, Mrs. Frances Herrera, we thank you so much for being with us. The President of the Grenada Trades Union Council, Senator Andre Lewis, and a special good evening as well to the President of the Grenada Public Workers Union, Mr. Brian Grimes, who's like extended family in the media. And, well, we can call her media because she started in media, the very lovely Jamila Lewis from the National Water and Sewage Authority. And to all our specially invited guests and colleagues, we thank you and we welcome you. We now invite Rena Pear-Thomas to move the invocation as we start the evening.
Good night to everyone. Let us please stand as we bow our heads in the presence of the Lord. Father, we want to thank you for tonight's event. We ask that you would guide everything that is happening here tonight. We ask, Lord, that you would take control of who is coming here, guide them as they come here safely, and ensure that, Lord, we enjoy this time where media workers are awarded for the hard work that they have been doing for the past year or few years, Lord. So, Father, we thank you, and we ask that you continue to look after us. In Jesus' name, our Lord, amen.
Thank you very much, Rena Pear-Thomas. Rena is a reporter at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Grenada. We welcome Tamara Songbird St. Bernard Neckles.
Hail Grenada, land of ours, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage, may we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance. As one people, one family, God bless our nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thank you so much, Tamara. Songbird indeed she is. It is with great pleasure that we invite the first Vice President of MWAG, the illustrious and very, very, very hardworking. I think we could name her probably Grenada's best. Do you think we could give her that tonight?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's give her flowers now. Grenada's best journalist, current affairs especially. Please welcome the host and producer of the narrative, Callistra Farrier.
Good evening, everyone. And I do not have a list of the protocol, and I don't like to say protocol established. So all of our very special guests here, thank you so much. And good evening to everyone. Welcome to the 11th Media Workers Association of Grenada, Grenada National Lotteries Authorities Awards Ceremony. We are hosting this ceremony after a harrowing 2 years when our members, our country, and our world faced and braved our darkest hour in modern times. For 3 years, we were unable to host this event because of the pandemic. We are here this evening because we survived. I am happy that all of you were able to gather here to celebrate with us and to help us acknowledge the hard work of our members over this past year. Being a media worker is not an easy job. It comes with long hours. In Grenada, it comes with little financial reward. And when your story or your interviews rubs a particular person or group the wrong way, it becomes a thankless job. It is a job that comes with great responsibility, though. Responsibility that we must never sacrifice under the banner of freedom of the press. Failing to do our jobs properly can have devastating consequences. We can trigger mistrials that can cause killers to walk free. We can threaten national security, and we can contribute to the degradation of our society. And recognizing this, MWAG is now in the mode of deep reflection. We are taking a long, hard look at ourselves. The staging of this ceremony is not only to recognize the hard work of our men and women who work daily to inform the public. It is a promise to strive to do better, to be better. To the winners tonight, do not view this win as if you have arrived. Instead, look at it as a note that reads, work harder. We must seek to achieve excellence. As reporters, announcers, journalists, presenters, program hosts, and camera operators, our last work must not be our best work. Our best work must be our next work, and the next, and the next. As members of the media, we face all manner of constraints and pressures. Media managers who place more emphasis on the bottom line than the well-being of their staff, failing to provide capacity-building opportunities, paying low wages, and that makes media unattractive for the well-qualified and talented. A corporate sector that puts its advertising dollars into mediocre programs while good programs go begging. And the politicians and their supporters who expect us to be extensions of their political PR and propaganda machinery. But despite all that, we are here tonight, still standing, having survived a long period where politicians have sought to divide us and to use us. We must seek to perform our role as the Fourth Estate with integrity, obeying the ethical standards that determine whether you are actually a journalist or media worker, or if you're not. Media workers in Grenada are operating at a time when confidence in us is at an all-time low. Public perception is people do not trust us anymore. They feel that we are not doing our jobs properly. How do we get rid of that? How do we deal with that? We must seek to perform our role. I think I missed my place. Our climb back to the top of the mountain of sound ethical and editorial standards will not be easy, but it must be swift. We must regain the confidence of people in our integrity and in the quality of the work that we produce. We celebrated Media Week in November, and the theme was maintaining journalistic principles. And this stands as a testimony of our desire to become stronger. As the chairman of the MWAG Training Committee, I intend in the new year to increase the training opportunities for our members so that we can lift standards. The fact that we have established a training committee is an acknowledgement of our shortcomings and a commitment to be better and to serve the cause of informing the public. In the new year, we will continue to seek engagement with the new administration in St. George's to address concerns that we have regarding access to information, and we will intensify our efforts to have freedom of the press legislation enacted in Grenada. That is past due. I urge our members and media workers in general, do not be intimidated. Stand proud as an important arm of democracy, the Fourth Estate. To quote the great American broadcaster Walter Cronkite, freedom of the press is not just important to democracy, it is democracy. We have a seat at the table, and we must insist that this seat at the table be recognized and respected, and we must work in a manner that gives us the moral and ethical authority to be worthy of that seat at the table. And let us not be afraid to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comfortable. And even if your iPad goes flying through the air, or you're flat on your butt in the Ministry of Works conference room, keep on recording. We're doing our job. Thank you all for being here, and congratulations to all of the winners who were courageous enough to put forward their work for scrutiny. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Callistra Farrier. At this juncture, ladies and gents, we have to welcome to the podium the judge's representative to deliver some remarks. His name is Steve Maxime. He is the science advisor of the Association of Caribbean Media Workers. We invite him to the podium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to follow Callistra and signify that I do not believe in saying all protocols observed, but I do want to welcome especially the specially invited guests. I have been given a very simple task to bring greetings on behalf of the judging panel. The judging panel included and was headed by Wesley Gibbings, well-known, internationally recognized, award-winning journalist, Julian Rogers, Suzanne Shepard, Peter Richards, Nazima Ragubir, who is currently the head of the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, and yours truly as the least of the apostles and the only non-journalist on the judging panel. What legitimized my inclusion on the panel is that for the last decade or so, I have been the science advisor to the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, and more lately to the Media Institute of the Caribbean. And over the years, I have done journalistic training, and this is why I was particularly interested in Callistra's mention of the training committee that the MWAG is going to put forward next year. I've been doing journalistic training for the CBU for a number of years as well. But tonight is about shining a spotlight on the awardees, the so-called winners. But again, it is tough to follow Callistra, but I mean, it is clear that we are not only celebrating the winners and those who have been awarded these excellent-looking trophies, but I really find my responsibility is to MWAG. Why do I say this? As someone who knows a bit about civil society organizations and organizing, not necessarily in the labor sense, like some of our colleagues here, or in the sense of activist groups, but just civil society organizations generally, I'm always driven by those 5 Drucker questions. What is your mission? Why do you exist? Why does MWAG exist? Who are your customers? Who are your clients? Who are your beneficiaries? What do they consider value? How do you know when you're really hitting the mark, as it were? Fourth question, what have been your results? We heard a bit of that. And most importantly, the fifth question, what is your plan? And I can see only great things for MWAG coming out of this 11th annual awards ceremony. I want to assure you that the judging panel, very capable, very competent people, if you leave me out of the equation, we all agreed that the standards were high, but as with all things, and I want to repeat this, as with all things, there's always room for improvement. So the fact that awards may have been given, I want to again, as I said, it's very difficult for you, madam, that you're not just celebrating the fact that you've won. You ain't reach, right? You've won, and there's always room for improvement. Always room for improvement. So as somebody representing the judging panel, I want to congratulate all of you, those who entered, provided entries, and those who eventually won or were awarded the trophies. But even more importantly, and I really mean this, I want to congratulate MWAG, because as MWAG proceeded, so doth journalism and media work in this fair Tri-Island state. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Maxime. Appreciate it. And I'm sure it was quite challenging for you and the rest of the panel to come up with these awardees, and you would have done your job. You call the name of esteemed professionals. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Good evening, Prime Minister. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. You may be seated. As Mr. Maxime, you call the name of esteemed professionals, two of my favorites in there. I won't say who they are, because the others might be looking. So thank you very much for your time, and congratulations to all those who submitted work to be adjudicated. It's not easy in this profession to have your work adjudicated. Sometimes in this profession, if we even breathe, we get adjudicated, right? So that the fact you put up your work and you won awards, congratulations to everybody, and who the ultimate winners of the various categories will be here this evening. Congrats to you. It is now time for us to hear from a person who shall be presenting awards, but right now we're inviting her to give some remarks. Please welcome the U.S. Principal Officer, Mrs. Herrera.
Oh, I can actually see over this podium. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, cool. Well, good evenings, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I'm delighted to be able to join with you, the members of the Media Workers Association of Grenada, as we recognize your outstanding accomplishments under the theme, Building Capacity and Maintaining Journalistic Principles. In the early 1900s, Joseph Pulitzer expressed to his secretary a simple principle he followed in disseminating information, which was to put it before them briefly so they will read it, clearly so they will appreciate it, picturesquely so they will remember it, and above all, accurately so they will be guided by its light. Now known as the grandfather of modern journalism, Joseph's words should be a challenge to each media professional today. You should hold yourselves accountable to your audiences and operate by a standard that allows you to maintain journalistic principles while doing your jobs well. In a time where photo and video capturing and easy publication is one click away, having professionals are a necessity like each of you. Grenada needs trusted, accurate, and reliable sources of information, and information presented in a traditional and non-traditional way suitable to its audiences. Those professionals are each of you, and each of you bring a unique aspect to journalism here in Grenada. I'm aware that there are tremendous challenges media houses as well as the freelancers in Grenada face. Just a few months ago, I met with your executive committee to discuss the media's challenges, key objectives and needs, and begin to formulate creative ways in which we can build capacity and benefit from exchanges with the US government. Additionally, I've been reviewing the concerns raised by you with the former principal officer, Carl Duckworth, at the press reception held earlier this year surrounding World Press Freedom Day. There is so much information out there, and the race is on to see who will get it out first. However, the finish line for who will get it right is often sparsely populated. Grenada is a relatively small island. Networking should be a key to raise the standards of media. I want to urge you to collectively challenge each other, verify sources, report the positives, be unbiased and fair, and recognize above all each other's strengths, which I think that's why we're here tonight. I take this opportunity to applaud your association on hosting your 11th Annual Media Awards. Let this be a time to show appreciation for the many talented professional individuals and organizations in the media arena in Grenada. Thank you again for inviting me to share this experience with you, and congratulations to all the awardees this evening. Keep raising the bar of excellence in your field. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Herrera. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to present to you remarks by specially invited guests. And so we welcome to the podium at this time Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Ron Redhead, to deliver some remarks.
Thank you. I'm just a little taller, so I can also see over this podium. Honorable Prime Minister, good evening. Press Secretary, other invited guests, Senator Andre Lewis, President of the Public Workers Union, Charge of Affairs, USA, President of MWAG, other media workers, good evening to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I am grateful for the opportunity to address you at the 11th Annual MWAG NLA Media Awards 2022 on the topic of the creative economy. First, I commend you on behalf of our Honorable Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, and Cabinet colleagues on what we consider an important occasion for the Fourth Estate, your Media Awards. The government continues to support and encourage a free press in Grenada, and reaffirms its commitment to the passage of the Freedom of Information legislation. No society can truly move forward if its eyes and mouth are prevented from seeing and telling the real stories that build and define our culture. And as such, our responsibility is to foster the enabling environment to share our stories and present the facts to every citizen as they are. The role of the media is not simply to give the public headlines that it wants, but to feed into the creative capacity for ideas and solutions to emerge, to inspire debates and discussions, and promote well-informed citizens capable of making independent decisions. For it was Lady Bird Johnson, the wife of President Lyndon Johnson, who said, "The clash of ideas is the sound of freedom." That freedom, however, requires a sense of maturity that is unbiased and hinged on the principles of justice and fairness to all. As such, the need for every media worker and editor to produce credible stories that is going to bring light in a positive way to our society is essential to this belief. That is why, since the creative economy has no clear definition, but is built on ideas, our government has seen it fit to unlock the full potential of this underutilized sector by establishing it as an economic pillar, separate but in tandem with the culture and the arts within the Ministry of Economic Development. It means that our Ministry of Culture and Arts will play the foundational role of development that feeds into the orange economy to train our people to tell stories through drama, dance, and music that influences ideas. In short, building the creative economy will be challenging, and we encourage all creatives to join in this effort with the state as we foster and implement ideas to move Grenada forward. To all media workers of Grenada, we understand the concerns for better remuneration packages and will continue to seek creative ways to promote your freedom and independence to tell the stories as they are without fear, favor, or ill will. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Ron Redhead. Let's hear it for him again. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we shall present our most prestigious award, I believe, and we shall invite the most honorable, Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, to present that award. We do understand it's the month of December. Our Prime Minister have extensive calls on his time, so we'll allow him to do this just in case he needs to slip out. Prime Minister? The Media Workers Association of Grenada Award of Excellence in Media, adjudicated by Wesley Gibbons, Julian Rogers, Nazima Barguber, Peter Richards, Suzanne Shepard, and Steve Maxime. The Best Current Affairs and Feature Program goes to Nisha Peters. She's shocked. Congratulations, Nisha. That is an excellent cop. And Nisha is assigned to Meaningful Television, which we commonly know as MTV. Well done, MTV. You do get to speak. To thank everyone. Thank you so much, Prime Minister.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm rather surprised. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you to our executive. Thank you to the judges. I wasn't expecting this, so I really appreciate it, and thank you very much.
Congratulations, Nisha. All right, we'd like to re-invite U.S. Principal Officer Francis Herrera. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased to announce the award for Best News Story, Radio, Television, Print, Online. That's the category. Please show your appreciation, your applause for Chrislena John. Chrislena John is a reporter at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Please remain with us. Thank you, Chrislena. Please share some words.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a bit nervous, so please forgive me. I must first thank God for giving me the ability to do this. As much as I appreciate this gesture, my reward comes mostly from when I do a story and people are helped, I feel rewarded. I want to thank Bernadette, my co-pilot, because there wouldn't be a story or a complete story without her behind the cameras. I want to extend thank you to all my colleagues at the newsroom, editors, my boss. They all play a part in me achieving this. To all the judges, I thank you for selecting me for that piece as well. And to all of Grenada. That story was, best story was for whom? News story, I think it was for Tyler. This is a little youth man that goes to the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School. And now he's on 2 legs. As a result, so I also dedicate this to him. And I say thank you to him for sharing his story with Grenada and the rest of the world to show that your inability does not define you and you can still do great things. So thanks again.
Thank you, Chrislena. Of course, Chrislena is one of my colleagues at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, extremely hardworking, extremely passionate about her craft. We move on. Best Feature Story, Radio, Television, Print, and Online. The awardee is Annette Moore.
Good night, everyone. I just want to thank the editor and the videographer, that's Kellon Noel and Nihal Isaac, the entire team at GIS, and all of the persons who participated in the story, like Chrislena said, the public and the judges and everyone who made this event possible, because we haven't had media awards for a while. So thank you so very much. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Annette. Keep on keeping on. One other award for you to present, and we'll allow you to have your seat, Ms. Herrera. The award for Best Health Story is presented to Rena Pear Thomas, Grenada Broadcasting Network.
So I would like to say thank you to everyone who helped me to with this gesture. Of course, like Christina said, without Bernadette, there's no story, and she is like our little engine. Because sometimes we go out and she would see that shot and say, we're heading another direction. And she's always there to, push us and give us that extra vision. So I just want to thank Bernadette, of course, the entire team at GBN, including our boss. This is just something to appreciate what I've done. And there's a lot of room for improvement. So I just want to thank everybody who pushed me, my parents, my husband, and everybody within the media who played a part in my growth. Despite all the little ups and downs, I am here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Rena. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Frances Herrera. Please re-invite, welcome once more, my colleague, Brenda Batiste.
Thank you, Kenroy. Someone on the live just asked if we're married, Kenroy. What should I say? A lady yields to her husband for answers of those sorts. We move right along with the awards, and here our Prime Minister is getting ready to leave. So again, thank you so much for coming, Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. We appreciate it. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. We move right along with the awards, and it's a pleasure to invite our Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Ron Redhead. Our first award, Best Tourism Story. And the award goes to Rena Pear-Thomas of the GBN. Well done, Rena. Congratulations. Best Entertainment Story. The award goes to Javid Nichols from MTV.
Good night. I'm not a man of words, but who know me know I'm a musician by night. So not only camera and editing I do, so I try to incorporate what I do other than media and television. So I push entertainment in the news, and you look like you're working out. So I will continue, and I thank everyone, especially in the newsroom, MTV newsroom, for pushing me to do this. So thank you.
Yeah, Javid, did real workout. Yeah, congratulations. I must say MTV for television and Power FM on radio have really good entertainment features. So thank you guys for doing that. Our next award goes to the Best Local Commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Donella Hostin, MTV.
Good night to everyone. Well, I have to say thank you to my co-pilot in this commercial, which was done for the PURC. It's a 15-second ad. My co-pilot, co-worker, Nick Charles, he's not here tonight, and to Sophie as well, thank you. And thank you to the judges.
Congratulations, Donella. Best photograph, and the award goes to Samantha Charles. Most times visuals really do tell a story, no words needed, so let's hear it for her.
Oh, good night. Best photo? Okay. Thank you, God. Thank you, my team. Thank you for allowing me to point the camera and take a shot, and it's the best one. It was for the fire in Victoria. Yes, so I guess it was the best one. Thank you, and for MTV Informer, thank you so much. And the judges.
Congratulations to all the winners in this category, and thank you so much, Minister Ron Redhead, our Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture. Thank you. Kenroy?
All right. We will return to the rest of awards in a few moments, but for now, we'd like to invite to the podium Ms. Cindy Henry, the manager of the National Lotteries Authority, to deliver some remarks.
Pleasant good evening to everyone. I'm going to take the easy way out, and I'm going to say protocol already established. Nevertheless, let me just recognize the presence of our dear Honorable Mr. Ron Redhead as he takes his departure. President of the Association, Mr. Gerard Joseph, and past President, Mr. Ray Roberts. Now, by being part of the media fraternity, not me, you're familiar with interacting with persons, and it is always recommended to do a little icebreaker. So for me, I thought the best icebreaker would have been to give a joke. Now, I'm not a comedian, so I decided to do what everybody does, internet. Unfortunately, all of the jokes were already familiar. So I had to dig real deep, find my creative bone, and come up with something. I'm pleased to say I came up with a joke. Now, before I share this joke with you, I need for you to participate with me a little bit. I decided, firstly, I have to test the joke, so I told it to a colleague of mine, and she laughed. Just to be sure, I shared it with another friend of mine, and he laughed. So now I'm thinking that I should change my profession. So before we go to that joke now, I need for you to, and you have to be attentive, you must laugh first. And there's a reason for this. Now, when you laugh first, I need you to pay attention to the laughter of your colleague beside you, because then I would ask a question in relation to that. And then I would tell you my joke. Are you willing to participate? Okay, nice. So on my count, you would laugh first, okay? pay attention to your colleague. I have a question coming up. Go ahead. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, so I have a little confession. I notice someone is still laughing. That is excellent. And the little confession is there is no follow-up question. And secondly, since you already laugh, there is no need for me to give you a joke. So, I represent the National Lotteries Authority. Sometimes we are branded as NLA. Most people refer to us as Lotto. However, Lotto is one of our foundation products. And nevertheless, before I go further, although our line minister already took his departure, let me just take this time to extend sincere thanks to Honorable Ron Redhead for his clear and transformational vision for the NLA. I must extend gratitude to our board of directors for the strategic, directive, and progressive plans. And regardless of the various levels within an organization, no organization is functional without its staff. So most importantly, I must commend the staff of the National Lotteries Authority for the implementation and execution of various initiatives and their role. Now, in all of this, our dear Honorable Prime Minister, who already took his departure, is also an instrumental pillar within the NLA from a leadership perspective. In fact, he would have graced us with his presence in August or September to engage the staff. And the comments coming out from that engagement was that this is the very first time that a prime minister took it upon himself to engage staff members. So I must say thank you to the PM for simply being different. Now, whenever I speak of the NLA, I always get excited. And a matter of fact, currently we have a promotion going on. It's a give back promotion, and it is called Exciting Christmas Bonanza. We have another promotion, which is a free ticket promotion. So you could stay tuned to your media outlets for more details. The mandate of the NLA is, I'm hoping somebody would have said it, supporting sports, culture, and nation building. There we have it, that is correct. And that is what I get excited about. When you think about the direct contribution NLA makes towards sports, culture, sports, culture, education, healthcare, IT, social development, infrastructure, transportation, whether it is assisting the government with lighting the stadium, playing fields, or courts, whether it is assisting the government with emergency vehicles, or sponsoring national events and athletes, or whether it is assisting community developments and non-profit organizations and events like this, or even assisting on an individual basis, the NLA give back at all levels. There is no barrier, and we're not limited and we're not bounded by sports, no culture. Now you understand why I'm so excited whenever I speak of the NLA. NLA directly impact the lives of people and, of course, Grenada as a nation. And this brings me to one of my favorite quotes. Actually, it is my most favorite quote when it comes to the NLA. And it is quite simple. It goes something like this. Even if you do not win, and of course we provide games of chance, so there is a probability whether you win or if you don't win. Even if you do not win, Grenada always wins. And I don't think I need to elaborate on that. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is about the patriots of the media. Tonight is about you. The media is a powerful tool, whether it is visual, audio, press, or the internet. You play a significant role in shaping public awareness, providing information, and shaping the attitudes and public opinion. With such great role comes even greater responsibility. Cliché, but true. The responsibility to report on newsworthy information, accurate information, and truthful information. The glue that meshes your responsibility with the public is the same of that of a man and a woman. It is built on honesty and trust. The media industry must operate honestly with integrity. In turn, the public would trust your information, that it is newsworthy. The public would trust that your information is accurate, and the public would trust that your information is truthful. Now, you must forgive me, I'm not too familiar with the various awards, the category of awards offhand, but this is the 11th Media Award ceremony. So this can be translated that you got it right. You must be doing something right after the 11th award or over a period of 11 years. Now I'm going to call this speech a playway speech. At NLA, we have 7 games. Just kidding, 7 games. We have playway, we have pick 3, we have cash 4, of course we have lotto, we have super 6, we have the scratch, and we have the bingo. Now, in the instance of the super 6, you have to select 6 winning numbers, and in the instance of the playway, you only have to select 1 number. So playway is very concise, it's straight to the point. In essence, my delivery is very concise, straight to the point, and very short. Hence, it's a playway delivery. So without any further ado, let me just say congratulations to all of the awardees and soon-to-be awardees. I anticipate the introduction of various new award categories come 2023, and even a greater number of nominees. Thank you for allowing the NLA to be part of this noble event. We endorse the importance of responsible media, and the NLA is committed to working along with all to move Grenada forward. Thank you.
Remain here, right? Thank you, Ms. Henry, and we invite Ms. Henry to remain forward for the presentation of the next 3 awards. Yeah, sure.
Can I ask my colleagues to join me at the podium for the presentation of the awards, please? May you? Thank you.
Absolutely. The National Lotteries Authority is the title sponsor of the 11th Media Awards. We move on. The award for Best Sports Story, Radio, Television, Print, and Online is presented to Donella Hostin, MTV. Congratulations to you. The award for Best Agriculture Story is presented to Kendall Gay. Kendall Gay is based on the style of Karakou. He isn't here at the moment, and so we will have his award in safekeeping and get it to him. Kalistra Faria, I understand you ought to receive on his behalf. Please come forward. Kalistra Faria is the first Vice President of the Media Workers Association of Grenada. Indeed, thank you so much. The award for Best Human Interest Story. You know, that's the category of journalism I absolutely like. Connects to the very core of humanity. So the award for Best Human Interest Story goes to Rena Pear Thomas, Grenada Broadcasting Network. It's a good thing Mr. Thomas is here to carry all the awards. Thank you, Jihad.
Best human interest story. This particular story is about a little girl named Rochelle. When I met Rochelle, she was still working, and she had a sickness that nobody knew about. And I did a story with her. And last year, I met her mom, and I inquired about her, and she told me the situation was worse. When she said worse, I wasn't looking for what I got when I visited Rochelle. As a matter of fact, we are not really supposed to get emotional when we do certain stories, but when I saw Rochelle, I had to walk out, and I broke down in tears. Because the situation was so bad that, you know, we see persons in Grenada and we tend to not realize that the situation at home is really difficult. Christina and I has been butts head on head when it comes to human interest stories. We have a passion for it because we see that when we bring out the stories, the impact it has, the people pour out. Grenadians near and far call GBN, find us, even our personal numbers, and they stretch their hands and give. And I want to thank them. I want to thank each and everybody who contributed towards not just this story, but every story we did. We are all humans, and the simple act that we do really goes far. I know because some of these acts were given to me when I was in need. I would encourage everybody to continue. Thank you.
We have one other award to present in this line of presentations. Best Political News Story. This award goes to Tanya St. Louis Lawrence, MTV. Tanya isn't here at the moment, but can a representative of MTV receive on her behalf? I see okay, so Mr. Nichols, Javid Nichols, one of her colleagues, is going to receive on her behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Good. Now we'd like to thank the NLA team. Thank you so very much. Here's Brenda Batiste.
Congratulations to this cohort of winners. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our keynote feature of the evening. Our guest speaker is Mr. Ray Roberts. He is no stranger to the local media. Much of his career was spent working in media, and he worked in both the private and government media. Ray also served as president and secretary of MWAG, and his media career began in the mid-1970s as a sports reporter. In 1984, he was awarded a Rotary International Journalism Scholarship and pursued studies at Miami-Dade Community College, completing the associate's degree. His experience in media is noted, having served as a news director at the Grenada Broadcasting Corporation, now GBN, and worked at MTV and Channel 6 News. In addition, Mr. Roberts was the director of the Government Information Service, the GIS. He has distinguished himself in covering sports, including covering the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, California. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce this extraordinary journalist, the son of the Great South, Mr. Ray Roberts.
A very pleasant good evening to you, colleagues, Press Secretary, President of the Trade Union Councils, Senator Andre Lewis, managers of the respective media houses, fellow media workers, friends. Thank you very much for your introduction, Madam Chair. Madam Chair is my neighbor, I must say, so maybe that's why I got this elaborate. First of all, let me say to you that I was challenged to get here to present to you tonight. I had a full day, started with the Youth Olympic Camp, had to present there, still playing tennis, maybe not beating anybody, but still a participant in the national championship. And from there, I came here. And what happened? I'm not that computer literate. My presentation was done. I don't know what I touched in the computer, but it disappeared. But I can't have any excuse other than to show up here. So first of all, let me congratulate Mr. President and MWAG for reviving this wonderful activity. I would say you should give yourself a round of applause. About 30 years ago, the first media awards was staged at the then flamboyant hotel, not too far from here. As I said to people, one of the broadcasters who I grew up listening to and I wanted to engage was Leo de Leon, before your time. And he spoke at it. And he was program director in 610. In those days, 610 Radio was one of the main radio stations in the Caribbean, quality broadcasters. Mr. President, I would say this award is a great tonic for your members, and also it sends a message that you are prepared to reward excellence. I look forward to this Media Awards growing to greater prominence in the years to come. Tonight, I want to share with you a couple of perspectives on your theme, building capacity and maintaining journalistic principles. It's an excellent theme, well coined, and it offers you, the media workers, the opportunity, if you follow the principles that I assume you have internalized, that's why you came up with the theme. I think we are certain to build a media family that is truly mature and professional. Colleagues, media is the term that refers to all print and electronic means of communication. Today, it is impossible to discuss media and the ways societies communicate without addressing the fast-moving pace of technology. Media is blended into our daily life and can't be separated from contemporary society. Colleagues, on that premise, building capacity is your personal responsibility. And I want to repeat that. Building capacity is your personal responsibility. It is the prerequisite to climbing the ladder of professional success. In doing so, you must focus on a process of learning. 20 years ago, Michael Bascom and myself, as president and secretary, engaged TAMCC through Dr. Nigel Greaves-Sandy and later Mr. David Fleming, and successfully pioneered a media studies program at TAMCC. Many of you have graduated from that program with associate degrees, and I wish to congratulate you. Mr. President, I'm not sure what the content of that program is today. I humbly suggest that MWAG engages the college with a view to influencing the future content, ensuring that it meets the needs of our media practitioners today. You are aware that media is evolving. Yesterday's technology is obsolete, and adaptation to fundamentals remain relevant. Let me take that part again. Yesterday's technology is obsolete, and adaptation is fundamental to remaining relevant in the profession. Journalism and media in general is impacted by artificial intelligence. Social media is a huge player and a competition, and the competition for survival is awesome. Grenadians are big on social media. In many instances, social media commentators, reporters, however you want to call them, beat the traditional media to the news. Oftentimes, they are not trustworthy. And equally important, many are invisible reporters. We don't know them, yet they influence sections of our population. They are your competitor, like it or not. Your great advantage, though, trained media workers, and you have built credibility. I wish to emphasize here that credibility is important in your profession. People judge you based on your work. Over time, they determine whether you or your media is worthy of respect. Media workers, credibility must be earned. It comes via performance. It is best reflected in the program you host, the news stories you present, and your overall demeanor. When the political season comes around, you ought not to be wearing party jerseys and bandana. If you do, well, it shows up your color. Then the perception is you are colored. Mr. President, the media is credited as the fourth estate behind the government, the parliament, and the judiciary. That's a privileged position that all practitioners must respect and cherish. Media workers, you must demonstrate that we are worthy of carrying out that responsibility as the fourth estate in press conferences, asking soul-searching questions of politicians and other officials. Also relevant is the behavior of media workers in public. Prepare for whatever event you are sent to cover. Research must be a daily habit. Yes, you can perceive things, but it is better to display strength in knowledge. Show respect, be tolerant, and dress to suit the occasion. Be a worthy representative of the profession and your media house. Colleagues, sections of the society will question and criticize your work. It is part of the profession. Nevertheless, you must rise above the criticism. See it as a challenge to be overcome. Longevity in the media demands your tenacity, your burning desire to be the best. Your listeners and viewers desire perfection, and while that is a huge ask of you, be determined to give off your best. Managers, owners of media houses, and the wider society have a responsibility to the growth and development of media workers in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. Managers, you must invest in your workers. Those of you who can afford to give full scholarships or contribute financially must do so. Government, too, must contribute to the development of media via scholarships being made available to aspiring journalists and broadcasters. I was delighted to see our Prime Minister in attendance, as well as Minister of Youth, and be glad that the Press Secretary has remained, and I'm sure she would bring back news to him. That's our Prime Minister. By doing so, that's the government, by giving our young people, our broadcasters, our media workers scholarship, we are preparing them to better serve the nation. Media workers and the medium they use influence the behavior of the society. Some of us in the media are irresponsible, but you can't blame us. We were not given the training of the profession. So take what you get. However, it is not good for society. The opportunity is there for us, just not as media workers, but as government and as managers of the radio station, to provide the necessary tools for our workers. I want to say to managers, it may be something from the past, but I think it's still useful. During the 79 to 83 period, we were young, as many as the journalists who came up here this evening, the reporters. We were in our 20s. We had weekly internal sessions. And I say to people, it was the best era in terms of my growth and development. Every Tuesday, a professional would come to the media house to have a discussion with the reporters, the announcers, the people who are on air. We would look at the economy. We would look at small business, the impact it has on media, the impact it has on the economy. We would look at the tourism industry. We would look at foreign affairs. The reason for it is that you build in capacity. If you have that understanding as to the value of tourism as a news reporter, when you go there, you would choose to ask questions that would not just help the industry and help the country, but certainly contribute to the growth of the product. So it is something that will not cost much for managers or media owners to invest in. Once a month, 3 times a year, tap the local professionals, SGU, University of the West Indies, Marischal College, and others. Tap them, let them have a 1-hour interaction with your staff so they can get a sense as to how the trade union works. That is part of my career. Sometimes I hear, and this is one thing, maybe I should say it here too, that people say, we get a lot of money, and I'm saying we, because I used to be general secretary. But what people don't know is that the trade union spends a lot of money defending the workers. And that money comes from you. The only how you will know that is if you invite somebody with that knowledge to share it with you as journalists. So when you write a story and somebody says that, you know that you can put it into content. And that's why it's important that in-house trading has to be a part of the media development. Whether you have news or you don't have news, whether it's a DJ radio station, music only, that's important. It is important to have people who are speaking to the wider community. That person must be knowledgeable. It is good for him, it is good for her. So again, I will want to impress upon managers in particular to see that as a contribution you can make to your staff development. I'll tell you one thing. I went when I was maybe about 20. So Eric Matthew Gary had a game in Queen's Park, a cricket match in Queen's Park. And I put on my jersey and I went to the cricket game. I was the person covering it. And he said to me, Ray, you don't look like work today. I said, so it's cricket. He said, yeah, but you weren't invited. You were sent to work. The meaning was I was supposed to dress appropriately. It was cricket, but I wasn't sent to cricket. I was sent to cover the cricket. My understanding then, I got 4, in those days was shirt jack, and 2 long sleeve shirts. Never wore a jersey to cover any event they send me to. I know that life has changed, but I'm saying to you, there are events that warrant your behavior to meet that activity so you leave a good impression. So let me conclude by saying here, building capacity and maintaining journalistic principles must not be words written on a paper here tonight. I expect the leadership of the Media Workers Association and the members to champion productive areas that would make them better reporters, better announcers, better commercial managers. In all areas of the media, I would hope that the leadership of the media workers would see it as a prerequisite to anything else in 2023 to create that environment for development. So that is where I would expect you to go in 2023. We have heard about the mountaintop, and the question is, how do we get there? Equally important, do we desire transformation? What does it take to ensure that you are the media worker of par excellence? I conclude, Mr. President, by saying, you, the members of the media workers, the ball is in your court. You can choose the path of being a learned media worker, or you can also choose the path of being a media worker at the bottom of the ladder. It is your choice, but I hope you choose the path that takes you to the top. Thank you, Media Workers Association, for inviting me. I certainly relish the opportunity, and I want to wish you the best for 2023 and beyond. God bless you.
Let's hear it again for our keynote speaker, a journalist and former Senator Ray Roberts. Yeah, the rousing introduction. Of course, we were taught well in the Great South. You know, it must be something in the water, according to Jefferson. Maybe, who knows? But we move on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are. Can I share the mic? We're now getting ready for a very what should we say? Groundbreaking? Yes. Groundbreaking and special award. And we're going to talk a little bit about this individual.
Long-standing.
Right. First of all, we should say, and that the award is being given through the kind courtesy of Pineapple Marketing and Communications and its CEO, Akeisha Felix. Akeisha, thank you so much for your thoughtfulness, your mindfulness, and committing your resources and your time to this. But before we invite you to present the award, we just like to talk a bit about the individual. Kenroy, you can start while I gather my thoughts.
All right, well, this person, long-standing media practitioner, just giving you a sense of who the person is. I think this person is iconic in the person's craft. I will not be using a pronoun for now. So this person is absolutely iconic in this person's craft. Has been blazing the trail with consistency. A lot of individuals have come and gone. This person remains at it, consistent as ever.
Right. The person is very maternal, paternal. It is someone, when I had my worst day, I had 2 really bad days in media, but one of my worst days, the individual pulled me in a corner and she said, the person said, never, ever, Brenda, never, just like that, right? Don't you ever show it again. Yeah. Thinks about everybody. Selfless, intuitive, great emotional intelligence, great understanding of the industry, invaluable, taken for granted, I believe, just a great supporter, a great peer leader, a great leader regardless. I have not come across many people in my work life with that sort of work ethic and consistency in behavior as that individual. Genuine. I think I'll cry.
And I have to say, I have crossed that particular person's path. Big listener. Sometimes she's extremely, well, it's not a she, so you know it's a she. Oh, goodness gracious.
Pronouns out the window.
Pronouns are out the window. It's time to narrow it down. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's time to narrow it down. So the person is female, quite literally.
Right.
Big listener, at times very pensive, deep thinker. And if you ask the person's perspective, she always has this objective look at things.
True.
Seriously, very objective.
360.
Yeah. My last word is this. I absolutely respect this person's craft, but I also respect this person for being human and what she brings to humanity.
And that is critical. Before we are anything else, we are first human. And those are the qualities we bring to whatever we do. Because we are not what we do, we are who we are. And so, before we get all sappy, we have not had many camera women in media in the Caribbean. We have not had many camera women, in Grenada. September last, I saw GBN found, I saw the win. Yes, GBN, you all found it finally again. And they showed it. And she shared the story again, and I'm like, man, that girl don't even know how great she is. Mm-hmm. But the humility of the individual, and has she been justly rewarded? The jury is out. But we're going to reward her here. And so at this juncture, I invite Akeisha Felix to the podium. Akeisha is the CEO of Pineapple Marketing and Communications. And Akeisha could tell us a little more as to why she chose to give this award to this individual. Akeisha?
A pleasant good night to everyone. Well, as Brenda and Kenroy said, I am Akeisha Felix, CEO of Pineapple Marketing and Communications. Now, this award is for a special individual, and it comes from a deep place, because at my tenure at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, Miss Bernadette Celestine, she took me under her wings as a mother, and I really do appreciate her. I really, really do appreciate her. And God, I'm excited, but I'm nervous, everything in one. Hold on. No, it's very fitting. They did a number of features on her, but I have not seen, that sort of gesture to see, let me give you an award to show you that you deserve it. And I made a post on my page, and the outpouring of love, B literally cried, because from the feedback from the people, and I say, you know what? This 11th Media Award, I am going to award you, and I am going to crown you. I want you to wear your pineapple and, look nice and dandy. Can you come forward, please? Can everybody stand, please? Thank you.
Good night, everyone. I must say, I don't know who they're talking about. I hear all these nice things. I'm like looking around wondering who they're talking about. Definitely not me. But like the Calypsonian says, and it is said, it's good to get your flowers before you die. Akeisha, from the bottom of my heart, I must say thank you for giving me one of my flowers before I die. I've been in the media a long time. They are like my kids. I take all of them under my wings. They say I rough them I rough them, but sometimes you have to rough the kids in order for them to, exactly, tough love is good. I would just like to thank everybody who thought of me, all the past, all the awardees who big me up for the work I've done, in contributing towards their award. I'd like to say thank you. I'd like to say thank you to a lot of people. Listen, I accustom being behind the camera. In front of this thing is not for me. Let's just say thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bernadette Celestine. Now we are going to invite to the podium the President of the Media Workers Association of Grenada, Mr. Jared Joseph, to deliver some remarks. After which Brenda will return.
That final presentation just brought tears to my eyes, so just a minute while I put myself together. is the reason why we put this awards together. This year, we decided that we needed to bring our media workers together to celebrate, to eat, to laugh, to love, because too much times we've seen division amongst ourselves, which definitely is not needed. And right now, I'm just speaking impromptu here because this is not my speech. I'm just speaking of my heart because of what I just witnessed. The tears of joy from my colleagues who I have toiled with for the last 10 years. And Bernadette is over 30 years of service to the media. So that speaks to the volume of passion and dedication. I don't believe I have that level. So kudos again to Bernadette for standing strong and remaining that wall, that foundation. And before I even continue, I would like us to observe a moment of silence for those who have passed from 2017 to now. Levi Benoit, tears again. Willa Christopher, Kennedy Bowen, Michael Pascal, aka Mikey P, Colin Bishop, Fitzroy Boson, Michael Pete, and those who are just passed from 2017 to now. Next year, for sure, whether I am at the helm or not, I expect the executive and future executives to really and truly honor these people, because you don't know, but we know what we go through, what we've been through, and the difficulties we face. And seeing those losses, just recollecting alone, just Levi, I still expect when I go to GBN on Monday to see him somewhere on front desk or sitting, and he always has that special welcome for someone. And everybody has a different welcome. Everybody is a different welcome. And he always puts you in the mood, and it's like, okay, Levi is here no matter, you're going to laugh for the day. Or you might be laughing for the whole day. So let's get to my speech. This year, as World Press Freedom Day celebrated in May, journalism under digital siege was the theme. Its relevance continues to be ever more certain. Thus, I'll be using excerpts from the statement from the Media Workers Association of Grenada on recognition for that day. It's a theme that puts into perspective the challenges of today's media workers in our global society. World Press Freedom Day is a reminder to reflect on our profession and the major as well as minor issues confronting media practitioners. Also, World Press Freedom Day is an opportunity for solidarity and to challenge ourselves, to commit to improving our capacity in all areas of our profession. Grenada's media population is young at this moment, and our media landscape is no walk in the park. The political directorates and private sector are the economic strengths, and their influence is impactful, as highlighted by my first vice president. They provide much of the capital that enables local media to serve the public and employ us as journalists, broadcasters, technicians, videographers, and so much more. As workers and as an executive, we are convinced, as again highlighted by my first vice president in her opening speech, that training opportunities are in urgent need. And again, I reiterate that call for media owners and the state to make greater investments in media scholarships. We spoke about it, as well as Calestra, and it's like, reflecting on my speech, I was wondering, should I still go ahead? Because they hit on all the nails and with their heavy hammers of experience. Years of experience more than me, and they have seen it, they have witnessed it, and I still, what do you call it? I'm still a lamb compared to what they would have gone through and what they would have fought for and continue to fight for. And witnessing that, and that is really one of the reasons why I decided, well, I'm going to throw my heart in the ring to serve as president, because I think we need a change. We need for MWAG to push up their members. And always when I engage my colleagues, I tell them, MWAG is not me, MWAG is not the executive, it's not Kalestra, it's not Nisha Peters, it's not Nisha Paul, it's not Sophia Phillip, it is not Tonya St. Louis Lawrence. It is all of us. And unless we stand united, then we're going to succumb to any little external shocks that are out there. And it is only up to us to make this entity, that is the Media Workers Association, that has this long history, to go forward. I'm not going to speak much about, because as I said, Kalesha highlighted it, Ray highlighted it, and as a student of Ray at MTV in my early years, as well as Josephine Maguire, I learned a lot. I learned from their experience, because just listening to them, listening to each and every one of them, listening to Levi, to Bernadette, I have realized that we need a desperate change. We need to strengthen ourselves in order to go forward. We cannot continue business as usual. Just looking at the room to see, in terms of the turnout, I was expecting better. I am a plain speaker. Much people don't know that about me because I keep myself reserved. People who are my close friends know I am straight up. I tell it how it is. I am ghostly disappointed in the crowd here, because that speaks to the level of disunity among ourselves. It speaks to us fighting each other, division at its greatest, and we need to change that status quo immediately, as of tonight. We know the struggles, the low salaries, the wages. We've covered other people's bargaining agreements where they get these large lump sums. And you hear of media workers getting $800 a month. $800 a month in 2018, 2020. It hits hard and it hits home, because we are their friends, we are their colleagues, we are their families. And unless we stand united, then the media houses, the media managers are going to dominate us. The Media Workers Association is an entity by itself. It is the fourth estate without the media managers as well as the media entities, because we can't stand alone. We can become freelancers. They need us more than we need them. And as Ray highlighted, it is time for these media houses to stand and invest, because I've witnessed it myself. As I started my career, I was thrown into the sea. Not much of an advice when I went out on my first assignment by myself and the camera person. The camera person had maybe 1 year of experience. He was able to help me. That is the kind of experiences that we go through in this. And it's time to speak out, and it's time to know, to let the public know, to let the corporate society know what is really going on. It is time for us to stand up. And I call in on everyone here now, media workers, to stand with me right now and begin this new trust. Please stand. Everybody in the room, media workers, please stand. Please stand and let us change that status quo at this moment. Let us stand united, this little group in here, and let's spread that fire to all the others. My days in media may be numbered, but a media worker is always a media worker. Once you're a media worker, you could handle any and every job. Right now, I've now gained the experience as an event planner. I never had that one under my belt. I now do. Realizing the pressures, and those pressures in media did not and will not break, and this is why we are able to put on such an event. You don't know what happened in the background, but I do. So at the end of the day, we stand united, and this small group in here, let's light that fire. And as we were highlighting during Media Week, which was celebrated in November, speaking to some of the media managers and some of our colleagues, this award is just the beginning, because our plans are to incorporate the radio personalities, the DJs, and everyone else within the media fraternity. So next year, you can expect to be voting, whether online, for the best radio personality or best DJ or everything. We have to keep and bring them in. We are big as an entity, and we have to use that strength. So expect more from us and demand more from us, but demand more from yourselves first. Look yourselves in the mirror, because you have to remember, I am a media worker, and MWAG is not MWAG without you. So stand proud, stand strong, build your capacity, grow, dominate the industry, and let us move the Media Workers Association into the future. I thank you.
Let's hear it again for the President of the Media Workers Association, Gerard Joseph. Gerard is one of the best writers I have come across, period. He is. You all look stunned? He is. Very deep young man. A lot of layers to peel. I like those. People like that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jerry. Well done, well said. Nobody's supposed to see what's happening in the back. You ever see a swan on a lake or a duck in a pond? They're just gliding across. What's happening underneath? Nobody sees that. So, well done. And we are at our final set of awards, and we invite Mr. Ray Roberts to present those. So in the category of Best Business Story, the award goes to, well, the husband really need to get a box to take them home. Rena Pear. Best Business Story. Rena is a reporter with the Grenada Broadcasting Network. You're welcome. I'm sure the GBN will have something special in an envelope for you this December. We're speaking it into existence, Rena. Our next category is Best Interview. And the Best Interview goes to the lovely Lexanne Fletcher. Lexanne is an independent producer. She has a Lexanne TV. And of course, we grew up with Lexanne on TV. Lexanne kind of younger than some of us, but we kind of grew up with Lexanne on TV. So, although it sounds so. Lexanne?
Wow. Where do I start? Firstly, good evening, everyone. It's a real absolute pleasure and delight to be here celebrating. I remember there was a couple years ago I attended. I was just a guest, but I had a ball of a time. And like Brenda mentioned, you know, I always tell people, ever since I was in Form 1 in high school, I told Miss Batiste, you know what? I just want to be a TV star. That's all I wanted to do. It was in me from knee-high. And after the closure of CC6 with Flo, that was an incredible journey for me. That journey lasted for a decade, believe it or not, with the show Chit Chat. And after that experience, I realized I cannot stop. I have to keep going because it's what I love to do. It's my heart's pleasure. I absolutely love it. And in the middle of the pandemic, I was working on Lexanne TV. It wasn't Lexanne TV then, but I was working on this project, and I said, you know, I really need to launch this, and then the pandemic happened. And there was so much unhappiness everywhere. There was so much sadness with the pandemic. A dear friend said, you need to do this now more than ever. Just do it. And in May 2020, I launched my first episode online. So essentially, Lexanne TV is online, and I'd like to knock on the doors of the folks who are here, the GBN, the MTV. You'll be hearing from me for next year for sure, but because there's a wider audience that needs to see the content. And this evening's award is special because I always love featuring individuals who had stories to tell, who went really low, who had low points in life, and then they rose to the top again. And those episodes I call Life Champions. And Mr. Kurt Knight, brother, I dedicate this award to you. Kurt has been living with multiple sclerosis for almost 17 years. And Kurt is a true soldier because he still continues to do what he loves despite of his failing body. And it was really special to me because my husband also lost his father to the disease, you see? So it was a special episode for me. And when I heard the MWAG was having the award, you know, there are many times I wanted to submit and I'm like, oh, should I? I'm not part of the association. Would they accept me? And I said, what do you got to lose? Go for it. And my team, my great team, I want to say thank you to Finbar Richard and Marlon Walker. Listen, sorry, I don't want to make this too long, but I don't get a lot of these, so bear with me, right? But I want to say thank you to everyone who supported me. Despite the frustration, despite the little ups and downs, we continue to come together to make content that really touches individuals. And I want to thank everyone in here this evening, Mr. Jared Joseph. I remember you from my days coming up to GBN to do the national lottery draws. And let me tell you, brother, I'm so impressed with you. I'm not seeing him. I'm speaking to him, but I'm not seeing him. He's right there. And you blew me away tonight. I could not believe it. It's the same individual I met almost 3 years ago. Hats off to you. Thank you for including me, everyone. Thank you for this award. You have no idea what this means to me, and it's even more special being acknowledged by my own. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Lexanne. Well said. She looked really surprised. She did not expect it, so that is fantastic. Yes. Yes. And there were not people who would know you from high school or anywhere. so you should feel even more privileged. Some serious group of journalists are from across the region. Thank you so much, Mr. Ray Roberts. We now invite the communications manager from the National Water and Sewage Authority, Ms. Jamila, the lovely Jamila, to present our final award. And the final award is for Best Video. Best Video. Who will it be? Javid Nichols from MTV. Javid, I'm not going to let you get away. Come a minute. Javid, how did you start? How did you start? I want you to say it. I want you to say it. Don't, I don't know why it is a bad word, but more of you need to say it so people know that there are successes. How did you start in media?
Basically, I started in Imani. Well, there wasn't positions for what I wanted to do. I basically studied electrical engineering. I have an associate degree in electrical engineering. But when I went for the interview, that was filled out, and it was only media and office work. And the office work was out of the... So I just end up in media, and since then I'm here. Basically, I'm going on 10 years just now in MTV.
A success story. Congratulations. Congratulations, Javid. Javid is also a very accomplished musician, and he's also the one responsible for Tamara Songbird singing Even Sweeter. He's her husband. Thank you very much, everyone. At this juncture, we invite Ken Roy to the podium.
How's everybody doing at the moment? Everybody's all right? Good. Callistra with a capital C. Callistra Varia, the one and only. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have for you right now, we need to move the vote of thanks. We need to say thank you to individuals, to organizations having provided support for this wonderful occasion this evening. And so I'd like to welcome to the podium Ms. Nisha Paul. She's the second vice president of the Media Workers Association of Grenada. By the way, Nisha is in print media, The New Today, Nisha. Yes, so of course, feel free to read The New Today.
Good evening, everyone. It is indeed my pleasure to make a few closing remarks on behalf of the Media Workers Association of Grenada and express gratitude to all those who have made this, the 11th Annual Media Awards event, a reality. This evening marks an important milestone for us as we celebrate the return of this annual event, which was last held in 2017. I am extremely pleased to note the contributions of each speaker, which has borne fruit, and I thank you all for coming together and adding more grace to this ceremony. We appreciate each and every one of you. To all of the sponsors who came on board, we thank you. And they are the NLA, our title sponsor, who surely always give back in a generous way. Thank you. the Grenada Electricity Services Limited, GRENLEC, the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, the National Water and Sewerage Authority, NAWASA, Mr. Barry Collymore, the Public Workers Union, the Republic Bank, Grenada Limited, George F. Huggins and Company Limited, Bryden and Miners Limited, and attorney Mr. Derek Sylvester. Although he was unable to stay with us until the end of the event, I would like to thank Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, for gracing us with his presence and presenting the awards for Best Current Affairs and Feature Program. Ms. Frances Herrera from the U.S. Embassy, the Principal Officer from the U.S. Embassy, the Honorable Ron Headed, the Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, Ms. Cindy Henry, the Manager of the National Lotteries Authority, Mr. Mara Songbird, St. Bernard Nichols, Mr. Ray Roberts, the former president of MWAG, and Ms. Akisha Felix, the CEO of Pineapple Marketing and Communications. To all the speakers whose presence have been invaluable in making the media workers a success. I also wish to thank the manager and the Trade Center Annex for accommodating us. Thank you to Abstract Decors for the amazing job done getting the venue ready. Our Masters of Ceremony, Miss Brenda Batiste and Mr. Kenroy Batiste, and no, they are not married. Thank you for working with us. You and I both know it was not as easy as it rolled out to be, and for that, a huge thank you to both of you, and continue being amazing people. To all the winners here tonight, congratulations to each and every one of you. You all worked hard and deserve it. Continue working hard and keep shining. As our theme for this year's Media Awards says, building capacity, maintaining journalistic principles. Take it with you as we all as journalists strive to live and work by those words. To the other members of the executive, thank you for today's event and continue to work hard for the betterment of all members. Thank you all for celebrating with us and get home safely. We look forward to seeing you all again in 2023. Good night.
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let us applaud all the winners. And we are delighted to hear that the next Media Awards, it is going to be a multimedia event, that we have DJs and everybody, personalities, you know, and probably some visual artists as well. Camera people, call them visual storytellers these days. All right, we have some of those as well. So yeah, it was nice being, doing this with you again, Kenroy.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Always a joy coming and supporting my colleagues. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah. It was truly a joy, and thank you for inviting me to do this. Appreciate it. Gerard, special thank you. And to all those who thought of me, and Kenroy. I trust we added value to the event. And feel free anytime. A special thank you as well to Mikey Live. Mikey streamed this online this evening. And Mikey's a fellow media colleague, and let us congratulate Mikey. Mikey is now an icon. From the little hotshot kid to big Mikey. Mikey has really grown leaps and bounds, stuck with it, and just keeps evolving. So very well done. Thank you so much to Mikey, Oswin, and all the other members of your team who has done excellent work in streaming this tonight. And creative chefs, we'll just thank them now because we know it's going to be good. So we'll thank them ahead of time. And we're going to thank Anisha Lett as well for the decor. And she has been more than a decorator. Was like part of the event management team as well. So when things come together for good, we have to say thanks. We must say thanks. So Kenroy, it is 4 minutes to 9. We did good.
Yes.
We did good. Because this is supposed to end at 9, and then we start, what do they have, boy?
There's apparently an after party. Yes, we've been told that. An after party. So just before the after party gets on the way, I have been reminded to say thank you to the Press Secretary, Mr. Hira Carter.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yes, thank you for coming and staying right through this. And best wishes.
Yes.
Best wishes. You are going to continue to feature. It comes with the territory. Best wishes, my dear. Stand tall, stay pretty, work hard. Yeah.
And there's one other person I'd like to just acknowledge who's here. You all, I have to forgive me, but the legendary Tony Julian is with us.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. All the lovely things we said about Bernadette, many can be extended to this lovely human being here. Just way beyond, just pushing through way beyond. But your time will come. Soon. Soon. Well, that's it, folks. That's it. Thank you so much for coming. Again, congratulations. And it's been a pleasure hosting the 11th NLA Media Awards. Thank you so very much to all of you. Have a wonderful holiday season, whether you celebrate or not. Just, just turn up the kindness and turn up the love. And then the black cake and whatever else that you wish to turn up or off. Have a really good one. Until we see next time, please tune in to a television station, a radio station, read a newspaper if you can, wherever you are. Just keep media at the top of mind and keep whatever you're doing, stay in touch with what's happening in your communities, wherever you are. That's all for now. I'm Brenda Batiste.
I'm Kenroy Batiste. Goodbye to our online viewers. Goodbye. And of course, stay tuned for the after party.
Bye, onliners. The after party, you're not here for it, but you are partying with the comments, and so have a good night. Merry Christmas, everyone online. Bye-bye.